Alright, welcome to part 2 of this tutorial. For this part, I've decided I'll just cover up to Boo release. I decided I just wanted to keep these videos pretty short so it would be less likely that I would completely forget to give important information. So once you re-enter the hidden mansion, you want to go for the door that's right in front of you. There's an animation where it opens up that takes a little while, but once it does finish, you go through the left door like you should always do on these double doors, and then you're in the hallway. Generally for hallways in this game, you want to have your flashlight aimed up because it avoids ghosts spawning in the ceiling, and aside from that, you want to stay facing certain areas where other ghosts spawn to avoid those ones spawning too. There's a bowling ghost in the middle of this hallway here, so you always want to be facing towards the middle of it. You usually have to tap your C stick while you're wandering down the hallway to avoid that one. Then once you get past that hallway, you just head left, and there's mice in this hallway you want to try to avoid. But if you get hit by them, it's usually not too big a deal as long as you don't get scared by the ceiling ghost as well, which honestly happens a lot because it forces you to stop having your flashlight aimed at the ceiling for a while when you get hit. So yeah, avoid the mice if you can, and then you want to go to the first floor bathroom, obviously, since you're on the first floor. I probably didn't have to specify that, but go into the bathroom, and then into the bottom left corner is about where you want to wait for these ghosts to spawn. Now when these two ghosts spawn, you want to go towards the one closest to you immediately, bring him into the corner, and shake that ghost off in a way that he will wind up next to the second one so you can get that double. Now for the grabbing ghosts, one important thing you want to know that isn't actually mentioned in many places that I found really useful was that to shake off the grabbing ghost, you don't actually use the control stick. You use the C stick. I didn't even know when I started running this game that using the C stick to shake off these ghosts was possible, because when EGAD tells you about these ghosts, he tells you to use the control stick. But using the C stick gives you so much better control over where you're throwing them. It really helps out in general with these ghosts, especially in the mirror room, I find. After you clear out this double, you basically just mash through some EGAD text, then you grab the key. I'm not going to focus too much on how to grab these keys in this tutorial because so many people I've seen do it so many different ways. I mean, I rarely see two people grab these keys the same way, so I don't want to focus too much on the way I do it because it's not really any better than the way anybody else does it. Once you grab that key from the bathroom, you want to head back down the hallway and go towards the ballroom. Remember about the bowling ghost that spawns in the middle, so just keep facing that way and you won't have to worry about him. In the ballroom, I don't really have a lot of specific tips for this. I just have a few general tips for getting the Shy Guy doubles that make it so much easier. For one, when you are vacuuming them, their masks come off a lot quicker the closer you are to them, so if you're like right next to them, then their masks will come off almost immediately. So you just have to learn to time their attacks so you're not being attacked when you try to do that. But yeah, get as close as possible to them as you can without taking any hits, and it's so much easier to remove their masks. And the other advice I have with these guys is when you have masks off, two of them, because you always want to go for these doubles, like getting both of the Shy Guys in each set at the same time. It's better to be moving towards them as you shine your flashlight on them, because I think that extends the range of how well your vacuum will work when you start vacuuming them. I find when I was standing still, a lot of the times, even though the flashlight hit both Shy Guys, the vacuum would only get one, but when I started moving towards them as I shined the flashlight, it seemed so much more consistent at getting both of them. So after you get all of the Shy Guys in this room, hopefully you got all the doubles, but as a beginner, it's really not too big of a deal if you miss them. Anyway, after clearing the room, you want to wait on the left side for the floating Rolindas to spawn, and basically just stay on the left circle thing that spins around, because I think if you move off that, there's a chance the dancer cycle won't work properly. I haven't tested it thoroughly, but sometimes I have been off of that and I've missed like the late cycle on the dancers, which should never happen. It's a huge time loss if it does. Anyway, when you're on that, you want to just keep your vacuum on and aimed at them at all times. Basically, the timing they reveal their heart with is random. It's about a 50% chance of them showing their heart 10 seconds earlier. So there's not really too much you can do to manipulate that. It's best not to worry about it. If you get it, it's good. If you don't, then whatever. After you catch them, if you're on the bottom side of the room when you catch them, it's better to suck them up while you're going towards the left circling thing, that's in a way that it will move you up closer towards where the chest spawns. The video should show it clearly. I'm not really explaining it all that well. After you grab that ballroom key, it's through to the next room, which is the storage room. You want to go to about the top left part of the room while you're waiting for the first ghost to spawn. So just head to the top left, spin around, and when that ghost spawns, you want to catch him in a way that will take you to the top left, because you really want to be in the top left corner once you catch this ghost, because of a new strategy, well, a fairly new strategy that was discovered that relies on that positioning. And that new strategy is what we call the poster skip. For some reason, to me, it seems like a lot of beginners are somewhat intimidated by trying this, but it's really not as hard as it seems like it should be. Basically, you just want to be in the top left corner of the room. I just get as far to the top left as I can. Tilt the control stick left so you're facing directly left, then tap the C stick down slightly and activate your vacuum. That's pretty much it. Then just vacuum until the next ghost spawns. I think you vacuum for a little bit after this ghost spawns, and then you should hear the pop, which basically means you got the poster, even though it's through the wall somewhere. If that ghost doesn't spawn with the right timing, it means you're facing too far down and it's not going to work, in which case you have to just go for the ghost and get the poster the normal way later. It's not worth going for the poster skip if you don't get it first try. So after you've hopefully gotten the poster skip, you go to catch the red grabbing ghost that spawns there. There's no real trick to him, just catch him normally. And then you set yourself up for the next double, which will clear the room. I just basically stand on the left side of the room. When they both spawn, I lure them to the bottom left corner together and get the double that way. I've seen other people do it in the top left corner, and I've tested it myself. It works just as well. It's another personal preference thing, I think. And once you get that double, the room is cleared and you press the button on the wall. Then after pressing the button, you wait for the cutscene and just go over and press the other button. Then that releases the booze. If you didn't release the poster earlier, you have to remove the poster now. Personally, I find poster skip actually easier than removing the poster the normal way, but if you didn't get it, then you have to do it the normal way. Hopefully you won't have too many problems with it like I used to. And yeah, pressing the button releases the booze. There's a cutscene there, and that's pretty much it for this video. There's that cutscene, then you have to mash through EGAD text, and then it's time to re-enter the mansion and start catching the booze. I'll get to that in the next tutorial video, so I'll see you then.